So NBC Sports has announced their Milano Cortina win their Paralympics listing on February 19th. So that was on Thursday morning in the East Coast. They announced, or Thursday morning overall, I guess, in the whole United States. It's going to be on NBC. There's going to be every Peacock is going to have it streaming along with NBC Digital, Sports Digital. But you have to have a TV login and sign in with your TV login. Actually have access to either CNBC or USA Network or stuff like that. And you can watch the stuff on Peacock, I believe, if you have like a TV provider as well. But Peacock stuff, but you do have to have a TV provider. This way we have the NBC stuff. You can watch the full streams of that shown, like it would be shown on CNBC or USA Network or NBC, without the need for a TV provider, which is in the digital age of a cable cutting, cord cutting, kind of a good way to do it, I think. They did that for the Paralympics last time in 24, and this year they're going to do that in 26. They do that for the regular Olympics. They start now, and they show it live in prime time, live on that TV in the area where games are like this year for the regular Olympics. They say Milan prime. Here they don't do that. They don't do the Paralympics like in prime time every day, even for like an hour. They don't. They just do like a week-long recap, like that Saturday recap. And then USA Network, first 3 days are just curling. So, then NBC didn't even do it, it's just curling. They waited till it was like hockey too. So, and I get it, So, there's a couple of days, I get that. Okay, but after day 6, then days March 6th, March 4th, 5th, and 6th beginning are just curlings. They're not doing anything really. The opening ceremonies from 1:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, which is 8:30 which is 7:30 Eastern time, is 6 hours ahead of behind Milan time. So we have 7:30 to 10 p.m. in Milan, and the Paralympic opening ceremonies of the USA Network. On NBC, we're gonna have a TV premiere. They're gonna have some re-airs. What's the start, you want to ask? The start of the replay. So we're going to have a replay of the opening ceremony on NBC from 8 to 8:30 p.m. Highlights, not the repeat, just maybe Team USA, the highlights, and like Team Italy, and some of the big highlights of the opening ceremony from 8 to 8:30 Eastern in prime time. Then 8:39 is Alpine Sing Skiing, the men's downhill. And then the biathlon, the women's and men's 7.5 kilometer sprints were 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern on NBC. Before Saturday Night Live, before they have a Saturday Night Live episode, from 9 to 10, episode of Saturday Night Live, or from 10 to 11 Eastern, episode of Saturday Night Live, And then CNBC is going to have at 4 a.m. And CNBC on the first day. CNBC is going to have weekend coverage, Saturday and Sunday coverage, uninterrupted for a good length of time, like the regular Olympics on USA Network. When USA Network has regular Olympics on cable, it's CNBC's gonna have pretty much exclusive access, like the main feed, like just one feed, and there's just the main feed, I guess, the TV feed, and then big events going on, and then they're gonna have like some smaller events if you want to watch, or non-Team USA events, like in stud hockey and in wheelchair, the two disciplines of wheelchair curling. We have the Sing Biathlon from 4 a.m. to 5:15 a.m., which is 10 a.m. to 11:15 a.m. is the men's and women's 7 kilometer sprints. So you're doing two laps of shooting. You're doing 2.5 kilometer laps, and then you're doing shooting. 2 shooting stages, and then that is it. And then one just skiing only lap, basically, with no shooting afterwards, just the third lap. And then the alpine skiing is the men's downhill from 5:15 to 6:30 in Eastern, which is 11:15 to 12:30 p.m. Eastern time live. And then we're going back to biathlon, It's the standing men's and women's 5 kilometer sprints, and then the visually impaired disciplines from 6:30 to 8:20 Eastern. That is 12:30 to 2:20 12:30 p.m. to 2:20 p.m. in Italy. And then there's a little bit of a short time, 15 minutes with nothing. But then at 2:35 to 4:15, they're going to have wheelchair curling mixed doubles, United States versus South Korea, wheelchair curling mixed doubles match. And then the alpine skiing men's ones downhill. They're going to have repeat highlights of the men's downhill. But then they're going to show the women's downhill. It's either other disciplines in the men's downhill, or just highlights from the men's downhill live, and then the women's downhill highlights from 10:15 to 11 a.m. Eastern. And then 11:05 to 1 p.m. Eastern is sun hockey qualifying. United States, Italy live. That's 5:05 to 7 p.m. in Italy. So that's qualifying. United States leaders, 8 teams, 2 groups. You're determining your qualifying spot. Either top 4 make it, top 2 from each group, or all 8 teams make it. Just you're doing your qualifying spot. And then Sunday, March 8th is at NBC. They're gonna have repeats of the hockey qualifying round. Italy. They're gonna have a condensed version of that from 12:30 to 2 p.m. They use the Paralympics as like a time filler on NBC, and before like popular shows like Saturday Night, they have repeats for Saturday Night Live episode. So this is kind of like a way to do that. And then before sports is live on NBC, USA Network has like random repeats of like Law and Order in the week, so this would get more viewers than Law and Order repeats, and they know that. Apparently, pretty much almost any sport in the world, pretty much will, majority of them will. So, and then at 2:30 is sober and Eastern men's women's sober cross finals repeat, and then this is Sunday, March 8th, on the second full day of the Paralympics. The biathlon, we have the Sing Biathlon, men's one's 12 kilometer individual biathlon, from 5 a.m. to 6:20 a.m. Eastern. Coverage is going to start at 5 a.m. Eastern to this time instead of 4 a.m. like Saturday. And then that's on CNBC, and that's 11 a.m. to 12:20 p.m. in Milano, or in Italy, yes. And then 12:20 to 1:55 p.m. Italy, 6:20 to 7:55 Eastern. Sober men's and sober cross finals. And we have the 12.5 kilometer individual, staying in visually impaired disciplines, live from 7:55 to 9:45. That is 2:55 to 4:45. Right? No, 1:55 to. That is 12:20 to 1:55. That's 1:55 to 3:45. Then 3:45 to 5:15 in Italy. 9:45 to 11:15 is a wheelchair curling mix of United States, Italy. And then a repeat of the Sing Biathlon women's individual from 11:15 to 11:45. And then the sober cross finals. Just the finals. Races of the sober and cross finals. Sober cross finals. Just the big finals. Pretty much repeat from 11:45 to noon. And then USA Network is going to take in 4 a.m. coverage on Monday, this day 3. And they're going to have, and then there's some that are TV premieres, and this is the men's downhill is a TV premiere, the men's 7 kilometer sprints on TV premiere. It could be like this one, the staying and visually impaired ones, but you don't, the men's downhill. If I can sing the ski, now that is a TV premiere. No. That one is. And this could be other disciplines they didn't show on USA Network. On CNBC, that this one could be. So this makes sense for not Sing Biathlon. Or it could be one that's this one. Here. Who knows? Either way, even if you watched it live on CNBC, it's the same thing from CNBC. In just a condensed form. Watch it. So, if you're a Paralympics fan, watch it, Or if you're haven't been a Paralympics fan, but you love the Olympics, and you don't like, you like supporting, you want to support disabled people, visually impaired, and